today. Today we'll be talking about marriage is a relationship and divorce is a pain in the ta. You can fill in your own answer there. Divorce is a pain in the marriage is a relationship. Broken hearts. Why is it that we start off marriage with wonderful hearts and then we need band-aid, we need elastoplast to repair that heart? I've been involved in many arbitrations for marriage, and in my medical practice as well, I've helped many patients to try and resolve some of the issues of marriage. And Alhamdulillah, I've written a book on marriage. Marriage is a relationship. There we go. And the next few sessions we'll be talking about marriage. Divorce can be painful, and what I've learned is that divorce, both the husband and the wife, they suffer. Okay, so marriage is a relationship, but divorce is a pain in the... Let me know in the comments. Thank you for your encouragement. Look, I'm sending you my heart because we're talking about marriage today. I'm going to keep it light-hearted. We're not going to make it very serious. I know it can be very serious. It can be a serious topic when you're going through divorce. Very serious, but let's keep it a bit mild. Either whether you're married, whether you're thinking of getting married, whether you're divorced, please tell your friends, tell everybody to come join these sessions. Let us try and understand one another. And I'm going to talk about the human brain, left side, right side, why men and women's brains are different, and why we sometimes fight. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. IQ, EQ, all the battles. Battle of logic and battle of the heart. And why do people have broken marriages or broken homes? And how do some people have happy homes? Why do some people have such beautiful, magnificent marriages? What about those beautiful romances we saw in the movies? The Titanic, the romance in Titanic, in Gladiator, all these Hallmark movies. You know, when you're growing up, reading all these romance stories. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and so many wonderful ones. A town like Alice in Australia. So many wonderful romance stories. And when we're growing up, we say, you know what? I'm going to get married to the most wonderful woman in the world. And the woman says, I'm going to get married to the most wonderful, charming prince. And we're going to live happily forever after. And we read all the romance stories about the prince and the princess and how they lived happily ever after. And everyone is happy. And things start going wrong. Why do they go wrong? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments. Thank you for subscribing. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe, follow, tell others to follow. Whoever is going through difficulty, if you are contemplating getting married, please join. And thank you for your motivation. Every time you send me a heart or you send me a subscription or you send me a like, then please, it motivates me to keep on talking, to keep on sharing my knowledge. Because as I mentioned, I'm a victim of gunshot, 3 bullets, spinal disability. I got a stroke. I spend 20 hours a day in bed in quarantine. So it's very lonely. I'm in spinal pain all the time. And in winter, the pain is worse. But your motivation, your encouragement keeps me going. So today we are going to talk about marriage is a relationship and divorce is a pain in the... We can't use bad words, you must always use good words. But sometimes in a marriage, when you are so angry and you get GATVOL, yes, like then the bad words come out. So, in a marriage, yes, both the husband and the wife, they suffer. The man suffers and the woman suffers. But what I've learned is that, unfortunately, the woman suffer more than the men. And I don't have to tell the woman what I'm talking about. The women have softer hearts than men. Women tolerate more than men. And that's why women suffer more than men in divorce. Whether it's you suffer financially, you suffer economically, you suffer from a broken heart syndrome. And there's actually a medical syndrome called a broken heart syndrome. And it can affect the person very severely, especially if you love that person so much. And especially if there's betrayal. Whoa, then those are very difficult things. So let's get going with this book that I have written. It's called Marriage is a Relationship. Today is only a very, very brief introduction to this book. We'll go through it slowly. So there's it goes. Oops, let me just move my position here a little bit. Can you see that? Marriage is a relationship. Okay, I've got to bend the pages a bit. I've got to bend this book so you can see it. I should have. It's difficult for me to hold heavy things, so I apologize. Maybe I'm gonna just tear the pages out. Okay, let's turn these pages. Let's see what is the first page. Okay, so the book is made up of 27 chapters. Okay, and 26 chapters. I've added a new chapter. I'll explain to the new chapter just now. And the word marriage, the way I've done the chapters of this book, the title of the book is called Marriage is a Relationship. I've lost my pen already. Marriage is a relationship. And what I've done is that every letter of the word is a chapter heading. So for example, let me just take this out. For example, M stands for money or mother-in-law. A stands for acceptance. So every chapter is MARRIAGE is a relationship. So here's the title of the book, Marriage is a Relationship. And with every letter is a chapter heading. Okay, so is that clear? That's very simple. So I'm going to go through all of these chapter headings. So every video, so there's 26. Is it 26? There's 26 chapters in the book. Okay, let me bring this nearer. Okay, so there's all the chapter headings. Marriage is a relationship. And I will do, inshallah, alhamdulillah, 27 videos. I've added a new chapter after this one here. So yes, a marriage is a relationship, divorce is a pain, women suffer more than men. Okay, women suffer more than men. Now I've been requested by many people to add another chapter, and I've done that as well. But this is totally up to you. This is for young couples about to get married. This is for young couples about to get married. But please note, I'm going to talk very openly about sex and about anatomical terms. So this, I'm going to put it as age restriction. So this should be age restriction. So please know that all the other 26 videos, there's no age restriction. This is all for family viewing. No age restriction. But in this, I will talk about age restriction. What happens on the first night? Is the hymen important? What about sex before marriage? All of those things. So this will just be mainly from an adult point of view. And there, I won't just talk about saying private parts. I will use actual anatomical terms. So if you feel offended, then please don't watch video number 27. Please don't watch video number 27 if you get offended, but I'm going to use correct medical terms so there's no confusion. I'm going to explain what happens on the first night, wedding night, and is there a first night? Sometimes the wedding night is not the first night. Sometimes you have the second night or the third night or even a week later. So I'm going to talk about all of those things. But today, very briefly, marriage is a relationship. Every chapter is a MARRIAGE. Happy with that? Okay, so let's get going. Today is just the introduction. I'll see you now. So please tell everybody. Marriage, I think we've heard so many stories about marriage, so many stories about divorce. Please tell me some of your stories. Let me know your comments. How did you meet your girlfriend? How did you meet your boyfriend? Did you just meet that person just as a boyfriend or a girlfriend, just to have a little bit of sex, a little bit of fun, a little bit of partying, but not to get married? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about religion? I know from my medical practice, I know that for Muslims and Christians, there should be no sex before marriage. No sex before marriage for Muslims and Christians. I don't know about other religions, but I know amongst many of my fellow Christians, many people, they don't take that seriously. So many Christians will still have sex before marriage. How does that affect you? What is the importance of sex before marriage? And why is there so much HIV/AIDS in this country? And how can we solve those problems? Okay, so tell me your thoughts about marriage. Tell me how you got married. Tell me, are you living happily in your marriage? I mean, you don't have to give me your name. I mean, if you don't want to, you can be anonymous. Just let me know, or give me your thoughts. Give me 10 points. What do you think? Or 3 main points. What do you, in your opinion, makes for a successful marriage? And secondly, why do some marriages break? And number 3, why do women suffer more than men? Why? As I mentioned, both men and women, they suffer. Men and women suffer in a divorce. But in my experience, I found that 90% of the women suffer more than men. In any marriage, 90% of the women, they suffer. In some cases, yes, 10% of the men really get a rough. Some men really suffer a lot in a divorce. Some men really, really suffer a lot. But that's a small fraction. Only 10% of the men really, really suffer. The majority of the people who suffer in a divorce are the women. 90%. So that's why I'm focusing this whole series on women. Please tell the woman in your life to join these programs, enter into the discussion, tell me know your thoughts, and let me know how you felt during the divorce. How did you cope with it? How did it affect you mentally, physically? How did it affect you financially? Because there are 4 parts to our soul, to our existence: mind, body, soul, and heart. So during a divorce, how was your mind affected? How was your body affected? How was your soul affected? And how was your heart affected? Stay well. Look for you in next video, in which we'll continue with a brief introduction, and let's take it forward. We've got 27 chapters to go. Let's keep going. Let's get our marriages sorted out, and let's try and avoid divorce wherever we can, unless it's inevitable. But let's try and see how we can make a beautiful marriage, if that is possible. So join me. This is episode number 1. I should put number 1 there. Join me. Stay well. Look after yourself.